Oh, aloha, everyone. Joshua Hayes at BigWaveTrading.com. Mele Kaliki Maka from Hawaii. I know it's Christmas, but still, I'm a degenerate. I love trading. I love the stock market. So we're going to still do a midweek recap. Going to hopefully keep this one a little bit shorter. We'll see. I'm going to just basically, I'm not going to go into detail regarding all the not the new long position, all the quote top current holdings. I also received one and only one sell signal following Tuesday session, so we'll review that. But before we go or get into the top current holdings right now, just want to remind everybody that I normally use this version right here, Telechart version 19. But as you can see on this version here, you can see how the balance of power here does not match up with the price bars here. They do not overlap. This is the only reason why when I do my end of day analysis, I use version 7. So I want to apologize for doing these videos overall with version 7. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and look at the top current holdings in my portfolio heading into Thursday session. All right, so like I said, we're not going to detail where my stops are right now, where my limits are right now. I just want to show you what I saw to make these a new long position and then show you the gains. Maybe you can learn just from watching these video lessons how to trade on your own. But if you would like to become a member of the Big Wave Trading family, there are links below this video in the description that will tell you exactly how to do that and or how to follow me on social media. It's a very inexpensive service, and I think as you'll see with the returns from these stocks, knowing that we only hold these stocks, big winners, medium winners, small winners, almost said wizards, break even, small losers. We try to completely avoid medium-sized losers, and it's absolutely not allowed large-sized winners. If we get into a position, I tell you exactly what my good to cancel buy stop limit orders are going to be the night before. You can front run my own orders, enter them into your system before I enter them into mine. And then I give you the initial good to cancel sell stops. Now, in an era of $0 commissions, you can put your stops at 0. You can break even on every loser. And even if you're wrong 90 out of 100 times, the 10 times you are right out of 100 will net you profit. And with the stocks that I normally find, you should be good. So first off, we're going to start with PSTV here. PSTV triggered a hammer candle over candle on heavier volume with a pocket pivot point signal, and it came from my Max Green BOP scan. Very low risk initially, and PSTV initially didn't trigger this day because I didn't have the funds, but the very next day, it traded up and through 219 and triggered and filled at 220 on December 12th. Since then, smooth sailing. It actually hit 50% of my initial profit target on Tuesday, so I'm out of half of it. That 50% was at 262. But on the current position, in well under a month, 22% gain. Hey, not bad whatsoever. Now we're going to fly over to Fulk. Fulk was a new long position back here. I do believe that this was what it looked like the day of the trade signal. You'll see hammer candle, above average volume, and an increase in green BOP. This is from my IPO scan. Long downtrend, initial strong bar with strong volume and that BOP surge. So this was a nice hammer candle off recent strong price support. Gapped up that day. I only want to take new long trades up and through my good to cancel buy stop limit levels, which at the time was 605. It had to come down. It finally came down, traded back up and through it, and I was filled on 1031. Following that session, as you can see, FULCK is now almost up a whopping 200% in 2 months. Do you think a subscription to BigWaveTrading.com is worth it? I certainly do, because while this is a great gain, and they're not all like this, we find plenty of them, enough to definitely cover the cost of a subscription to the service that I provide. And I'm around all of the time, and I never miss a day. Hence, it's Christmas. I'm with friends and family, and I'm making this video at my house right now. Don't know if that's wise. AXSM, new price discovery level. Strong hammer candle price bar off recent price support. Above average volume. Max Green BOP, already way familiar with AXSM. Actually was already long this stock here for this uptrend, but it completely shook me out here. There's sell rules, and we're going to go over them with the only sell signal following Tuesday's session. But AXSM, 27% gain in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions. Not too shabby. IRS, we've profiled this one over and over and over. This is what it looked like the day that I got the signal. Hammer candle over candle, heavier above average volume, pocket pivot point signal, max green bop, got filled on the 23rd. That's the white arrow. As soon as I get filled, I add it into my telechart system. These arrows cannot be manipulated or moved. So I can't just now all of a sudden, well, I want to show everybody a good victory in IRS. Let me add a white triangle right here. You can't do that. You can see here, days in list, 45. And you can't manipulate it. It is what it is. They get added whenever I add them after I get filled. That's a 40% gain in 2 months in IRS. Who would have thought IRS would have produced that kind of gain? I sure didn't, but it's a signal, and a signal is a signal is a signal. Same with CZZ. This is what CZZ looked like the day that I got a long signal. CZZ, I believe, was in my perfect speculator scam. That's where AXSM also happened to come from. IRS came from one of my BOP scans. I got a bullish candle over candle above the 50-day moving average, heavier above average volume, pocket pivot point signal, increase in green BOP, was filled the very next day. And who would ever have thought CZZ, since being filled, would be up a whopping 60, this is a food stock, 64% in less than 4 months. Unbelievable. CZZ. Recent long position, CCXI, new price discovery level, similar to AXSM. These are not random chases. I know what I am doing. These are intelligent trend join, new price discovery level signals on my end. This is a bullish candle off strong price support, above average volume, max green BOP. Took a few days, but finally got filled on 12.5 up and through my good to cancel buy stop limit level. And CCXI has worked perfectly. And on Tuesday, it hit my first profit target, which was 36.88. And now I believe I don't have any. It's now at new all-time highs. There's no reversal candle. I'm letting the rest of the position run, but I've already locked in 20% plus on this name. And now it's up 22% on the second half in less than 1 month. Not too bad whatsoever. And then how about a big winner, VBIV? We've gone over this one before. VBIV, you can see candle over candle right here after it's already found a low. Don't like stocks under $1 normally, but this has got a look. This has what I call the look. It has the look of a stock that can move higher. Insiders were buying. I believe Baker Brothers is involved in this one. Candle over candle, heavier above average volume, max green BOP. VBIV, what a steady trender. My next profit target, by the way, is 149. It's very, very close. So if it hits 149, I'll be out another 50% of VBIV. But if you've just been riding it higher the whole time, that's a 132% gain in a little over 2 months. Hey, not too bad for a service that on the platinum most top level only costs $600 a year. That's ridiculous. So for $50 a month, you can get returns like this. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't charge enough for my service, bottom line, for these kind of gains that you're seeing. But I love doing this. I'm a man of the people, and I like to keep things relatively lower price. I just think it's the right thing to do. I'm sorry. I just watched a YouTube video, and somebody was literally, and this is a multi-millionaire. First off, he said something like no two countries with McDonald's have ever gone to war with each other. Blatant lie. That is not true. You can simply Google that and find out that that's wrong. So that's silly. But this guy, multi-millionaire, makes $1 million every year in trading. He's trying to sell his annual service for $15,000. I just thought I'd mention that first off. It's amazing that you can become a millionaire and be good in the stock market and yet not be intelligent enough to do a simple Google search to find out that your facts about no two countries with McDonald's have ever gone to war with each other is not true. During the same presentation, you're about to charge people $15,000 a year for. Just mind-blowing to me. But whatever. Cure up 12% in less than a full month of trading. Cure, what did it look like the day that I went long? New price discovery level. Candle over candle, hammer candle over candle, above average volume, increase in green bop, beautiful uptrend higher. A little shaky day right here. That's kind of scary, right? But it didn't violate those lows. Immediately reverse higher. All is well with QURE. That's more of a short-term signal. Let's go back out to a long-term signal. We've reviewed this one in earlier video lessons, but here it is hitting new highs. Let's show you what KPTI looked like the day that I issued a long signal on it. Candle over candle off the 50-day moving average, heavier above average volume. Pocket pivot point signal, increase in green bop. Wasn't completely smooth sailing because back here it got the red bop in it, which makes me get super tight with stops. But luckily, the 731 level on this day was never violated, so I was able to maintain my position in KPTI, and it's pretty much been smooth sailing since. I don't even know how much it's up now. Unbelievable. It's now up 244% in a little under 7 months. Beautiful. I don't have a big position left in it, but heck, just because I don't doesn't mean that you don't have to. You could still be all in if you want. I just really preach about trailing, splitting up and trailing stops higher so that you're partially out of positions on the way up in case you get a violent pullback like this. This did knock me out of some on this day, but still, then we place a stop here. That stop is never violated. KPTI, 244% gain. Zoma, let's see, let's go back so I can make sure that that was the long signal. I think I went ahead and liked this one right. So if I went long right there, it must have been this day or this day. I think I took this one as a cheater because normally I don't buy stocks that are so far off the high of the day. So I'm not quite sure which day is the signal, but heck, that's all right. I have a search tab on my website. All I got to do is type in XOMA, and it's going to bring up that watch list that I gave this out as a new long signal. So either way, I don't think it would have been this day. I don't think it would have been this day. I think it's this day right here. And then it triggers and fills, so that can't be right. I really don't know. I think, okay, you know what? It's this day. I can figure it out on my own. XOMA was a new long signal on October 4, 2019. Bullish hammer price candle off the 50-day moving average. Heavier above average volume. Big increase in green bop. Zoma is in my perfect speculator scan. 1831 is the good to cancel buy stop limit order up and through it. Clearly, it did not trigger on the 7th. More than likely, I'm fully invested. That's why it never fills any of these days. I don't even have the capital available to buy it. And if I don't have a certain amount of capital, which for me is a minimum 1%, I don't take partial size positions. What am I going to do? Hold 300 positions? Do you know how long that takes to manage? It takes at least me right now. And I'm operating on an insane level right now with how many positions I'm holding. It takes me 2 to 3 hours to manage my stops currently. And that might seem absurd, but it's what I do for a living. It's part of the job. It's what you do. But the bottom line is, finally on this day, Zoma is filled. Zoma has been smooth sailing since the signal day. Zoma is now up 54% in a little over 2 months or under 3 months. And then one stock that I gave out publicly, you guys remember Tesla? You can go watch the video lesson from this session. So whenever November 4th is, go watch the video lesson from November 4th. Tesla, public long signal there, fills immediately the next day. There was a little rocky patch here, but as you can see, it held the support lows. Bam, bam, bam. Higher, higher, higher. Tesla now up 33% in a little under 3 months. Not too bad. 2 months. 33% in under 2 months for Tesla. Tesla was perfect speculator quality. It was Zoma I already mentioned. Tesla was perfect speculator quality and also had an added benefit, which I always give more conviction to, a very high short interest ratio. Any stock that has a short float over 20%, and it's in my perfect speculator scan based on the book, The Perfect Speculator by Brad Kodeshwar, I want, and I make priority. So Tesla was a priority. Nice 33% gain. Just two more I want to go through. CPRT. CPRT we should all be familiar with. I even gave it as an ad signal publicly somewhere back here. Do not remember. But you can see where I'm initially long from. Once again, I've already shown this stock before. CPRT on this day, I believe, was just Cancelim quality. It is now Cancelim and Perfect Speculator quality. Bullish hammer candle over candle on a heavier above average volume with an increase in my balance of power. Filled the next day, and this thing has been pretty smooth sailing. It did have one rocky move below the 50-day moving average, but this low was never violated, so I maintained the vast majority of my shares, and now I'm still long CPRT. And who would ever have thought this specialty retail auto dealership stock would be up 56% in right around almost 10 months. Pretty impressive. And then the last one I want to go over, GSL. GSL, nothing special, but I just noticed that I'm going over it because any stock that's hitting a new post-signal high following Tuesday session, that's what I decided to review for this video lesson. 17% in 1 month. And those are some good winners. There's other winners out there. There's other winning positions. Some are up more than the ones we reviewed. Some are up less to a lot less, but they weren't hitting a new post-signal high following Tuesday session. That's why they're not being reviewed. Also, I always tell people which stocks I'm focusing on, which ones are priority over the other signals in the watch list. Right now, there's a lot of new long positions, but that's a byproduct of the market with the advanced decline lines and the advanced decline volume lines all at all-time highs. What do you expect? I will also remind everybody that during this period here, from the end of September to the lows in December in 2018, we only averaged 1 to 2 signals per day on the evening watch list with multiple weeks of zero speculative long positions, and there was a full 6 straight days during this span right here in December where we did not even have one new long position. So it's always due to how the market is performing, how many signals we will have. So right now, we have an overwhelming watch list. That's why every evening it seems like there's tons of signals. And to me, a signal is a signal is a signal. I have enough capital that if there's a 1% of capital available and I really want the stock, I'll throw an order out there. If it triggers up and through my good to cancel buy stop limit price and fills me, it's great. I then put in good to cancel sell stop orders and we move along with our life. What hits, hits. What doesn't, doesn't. What moves higher, stops get adjusted continuously as it moves higher. If there's overhead resistance levels, either key price support levels, like I told you about on VBIV right here, or it could be, I don't even know, it's the IRS. You could even use the 200-day moving average here. So the IRS. Now, to me, I think right now, my next profit target on IRS is coming very close, 786. So that's my next profit target. But you could also use the 200-day moving average. It's always key resistance price points or key moving averages. So that's it. That's a lot of long positions, I know. A lot of winners. But hey, it's a byproduct of the market. If this was December 24th, 2018, do we have anything to review? No, just hedges, because I had hedges on during the time. And I was trading SPY puts intraday during that time because we had an elevated VIX. Right now, we do not have an elevated VIX, but I noticed that the skew is starting to get elevated, which means we could start to see some market volatility here pretty soon. The one and only sell signal, now that we're near the end of this video, I've got it capped at 20 minutes, so we got to wrap this up. INMD is the only stock during Tuesday session to trigger an end-of-day sell signal, which means if you trade on an end-of-day basis at bigwavetrading.com using good to cancel or day market buy or good to cancel day market sell orders, INMD is the only one to give a 50% signal. INMD is closing below the 50-day moving average and this short-term uptrend line on heavier above average volume. That is and forever will always be, it's redundant, of sell signal. But this one is a 50%er from our initial long position, which back here, candle over candle, heavier volume than the session before. Recent new long position IPO. I don't think it's Cancelim quality, but it was in the Cancelim scan, so it must be near Cancelim quality. Also high short float. Bam, beautiful. But what's the total gain with the 50% sell? 38%. Now, if you're trading with stops, 50% goes 1 cent below today's low day. All right, guys, 10 more seconds. Going to wrap it up. Once again,
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everyone. I'll be back this weekend with another weekend wrap-up. Aloha.